let's take a look at this other graph. A lot of people, so this, I thought this was fascinating. So this is a graph somebody sent me, and they're actually just looking at the cell cycle genes. So we got P53, we got P21, we got some other things here. But again, I remember yesterday I said, you know, at the 7th hour time point, the reason why a lot of these inflammatory genes are getting ranked lower, it maybe isn't probably because the expression is going down. It's just that the expression of all these cell cycle genes are going way up. And you can see that here. What was this? Oh, I didn't even see that. P21 goes up. So this is a suppressor, and you can see that it's going up, and then it kind of peaks at 2 and then goes down. But you can see all of these. This is the most severe form of the disease, and you can see all these cell cycle genes going way up, kind of increasing as the infection progresses. And again, that's kind of a different pattern than what we saw with the inflammatory, right? You'd see this huge spike here, and then it would go down. Here, we're kind of seeing the opposite. So again, this cell cycle stuff, maybe this is repair, maybe this is the cell trying to produce more white blood cells or something to platelets to fight the infection. Who knows? And this was our,
Mike,
yes.
so P21 is coming up earlier than P53.
Yes.
Like, is that means that some of it, P21 is induced independently of P53 at the beginning, or we are not able to detect P53 correctly, so its activity is high, but not its expression level.
Correct. It could be. And that's another thing with these time courses is that what you're looking at is things that maybe get induced early, maybe are controlling things that are getting induced later. And this kind of helps us. And that's another thing we have to figure out. It's not just a list of genes, but what you're also trying to figure out is order, right? Is, okay, I've got all these genes. I know they're important. What acts first and maybe influences other things? And so that's what you can do is you can look at, okay, P21 is getting induced early. Are there any of these things on here that are actually associated with P21? Maybe I put these all in through string and see what's connected to it, and then see whether, you know, we're getting that delayed response. And that's, you know, that could totally happen. P21 is probably inhibiting a lot of these cell cycle, these cyclins here. And once it's going down, now you're free to have all these cyclins start going up as well. And P53 is probably more indicative of apoptosis and probably higher here. No, actually, I think this is the P53. Yeah, these are all cyclin genes. Interesting.
Yeah, you don't need much of P53 there. It's a very powerful gene.
Right. And again, you know, you can't be an expert in everything, but you can sure as heck read up on it. Like my head is so full. You know, some people, you know, like I almost have a personal relationship with genes. Like I've seen some genes so much that like when I see them, I know things about it. Like if I see NF kappa B, I'm like, oh man, this tissue's really pissed off, you know, or VEGF, like, oh man, there's some repair going on. Or if you see TNF alpha, you're like, oh man, this system is crashing, right? I mean, there's just indicative, and that's Tamara definitely, you know, illustrated that. She knows these genes, and that's what you really want to do, and that's what we're trying to do with these graphs is I might not understand it, but if I put it in such a way and I show it to somebody who has experience in another area than I do, then they might look at this and go, oh my, yeah, well, this does this, and this is probably this, and they'll tell you exactly what's happening. But again, the first thing you need is to be able to see the data in a way that will allow you to analyze it. But I thought this was great that people, you know, were attacking the cell cycle. I'm sure it's part of your research, you know, and that's the thing. You know, some people are actually doing viral like research now, you know, that are associated with the class. And I thought, you know, this is right up your alley. So, and I love all the insights I'm getting from those kinds of people. Like I understand the inflammatory response a little bit, but not like somebody that's, you know, infectious diseases or immunology. They understand this way better.